Joining us today is George McDonald, the Democratic candidate for the 17th District. Tell us about yourself and why you want to be a member of the State Senate.
Well, Grady, I'm a farmer and a small businessman. I'm not a politician. I live on the same farm my great-grandfather started in 1927. Today, we still farm that same farm. I tell people that's where I was raised, that's where I've worked all my life, and that's where I'll die at.
What are some options for balancing our budget for the next fiscal year?
You know, a lot of politicians like to grandstand that we've balanced the budget. We take credit for balancing the budget. Well, here in Tennessee, thank goodness, we have laws that require us to have a balanced budget. So, you know, don't hurt yourself by patting your shoulder too much. But, you know, Governor Breslin, I think, got a good plan in place that's taking cuts at 1 to 3% across the board in the upcoming 2011 year.
What kinds of programs would you cut, or where would you make cuts?
You know, Grady, I'm not a career politician, but I run a business. And I know that we don't cut the throat of whatever we're trying to cut. What we've got to do, we have got to look in there item by item, line by line. I believe that we can make numerous small cuts and balance the budget. I've never seen a budget yet that is not full of fat that cannot be trimmed out in different places.
What's your take on the higher ed legislation?
The higher ed educational legislation is one of those things that we've got to analyze, we've got to look at. We have to continue funding that. And jumping a little bit on the funding, as I was saying, when funding is set up for something specifically, we need to stick to that. That's like the scholarship program, the Hope scholarships, the lottery money. You know, that was set out specifically for higher education. Put that money into higher education. That's what you said you was going to do. Do it. Last year, the State Senate rated that and took out that $90 million. And with 3 kids in college, I understand a little bit about how that affects the students and the parents in that deal.